Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and in today's video, I'm going to be reviewing a lifted Ford F-350 Dually. Before we get into this video, I want to give a huge shout out and thank you to the National GMC here in American Fork, Utah for giving me some time with this truck. I'm going to include a link to the website in the description down below, so you can check out what they have currently. And then on a side note, if you want to save time and money the next time you purchase a car, link to my car buying guide in the description down below. Let's get into it. Under the hood, we have the 6.7 liter standard output power stroke that goes through a 10-speed automatic transmission. Power outputs with this are 475 horsepower and then 1,050 pound-feet of torque. Now, before we move forward with this review, I do want to mention, if you want to see more videos just like this, then I recommend you subscribe because I post content every single day. Now, being a dually, we've got the cab lights there at the top, and this is the Lariat package. You guys can see we've got the upgraded headlights, and they've got lots of chrome trim. Now, the only thing I would change about this build is I would remove the stock air dam. I understand that helps out with aerodynamic efficiency and therefore fuel economy, but I don't think that someone that would lift a truck like this would care about that as much as having kind of a cleaner look with a smaller air dam or no air dam. Anyways, let's get to the exciting stuff. So our tire and wheel setup is 35 by 12.5 by 22 in the front and over in the rear. I'll show you guys the wheels in the rear in just a moment. But yeah, you got the fuel wheels, which all blacked out. I think they look pretty cool. And yeah, pretty aggressive all-terrain tires. And I'm not sure how much of a lift this is. It looks like it's maybe like a 4-inch roughly. I might be off on that by a bit though. Got a giant splash guard here, so it's funny you see the splash guard and then the air dam right in front. You guys can see the Lariat F-350 badge, and then you got the 6.7L Power Stroke badge. And in the back here, you guys can see the rear wheel setup. Again, looks pretty cool. It's like got that deep dish design. It's interesting to see the difference between the front wheel setup and the back wheel setup and everything because of like it's like an Innie versus Audi belly button. That's a weird reference to make, but kind of reminds me of that. Anyways, yeah, all-terrain tires on both of them with the dual rear wheels. And here is your full side view with the truck. With that lift and everything, it has a really solid stance. And then here's the view of the rear, so you guys can kind of see it all together. That is cool looking. It's got such a wide appearance. And then quickly popping inside, this is a Lariat, so you've got the nicer interior. You've got power side steps, which are really nice with this lifted truck. You can see the leather seats here, and pop her on. Ooh, built Ford tough, right? It's got a big digital gauge cluster. See the steering wheel design. You've got the huge infotainment system, and this does come with a 360 camera system, which is really nice with a truck this big. Heated and cooled seats, dual zone climate. You got a wireless phone charging pad, tons of storage with the whole center console setup. 6 auxiliary switches, so you can add extra items. No center for this particular truck, for those of you that are wondering. Anyways, with that being said, let's take this out and drive this and see if you should in fact lift a dually F-350. Let's talk about visibility before we set off. Here's visibility over the hood, and this one also has heads-up display. Both mirrors show blind spot monitoring throughout the rest of the rear. And well, let's see what the turning radius is. Let's see how many million-point turns I have to make to get this truck turned around here. Normally, I wouldn't show this on camera. It's not worth it, but you know, I think with the dually and with the lift and everything, it's worth showing. Okay, yeah, this is a lot worse than that. I just reviewed a Canyon before this, and oh boy, does this have a much worse turning radius than the Canyon. It's also a lot longer, also has a solid front rear axle setup. Canyon just has a solid rear axle. I do like the fact that it turns on the camera when you get close to something. I will say these 35s are not overwhelming the steering system, which is good. Sometimes that can happen when you do tires that are a lot bigger than what you have from the factory. Brakes are spongy. Okay, that should be enough. Maybe. Just kidding. So, setting off in this truck. It is big. Like, this is big enough. You know, the dually in general is big, but because of the negative offset of the tires, you really do have to kind of watch your wheel placement so that you don't accidentally clip something. That is a cool looking build. It's got like a ranch hand on it and everything. And it's got like fender flare extensions. Interesting. Good torque so far. Forgot how spongy the brakes are on these Super Duties. They really are, like, so much torque. Holy crap. I said this before, but like the new high output doesn't really feel any different. And I've had some people that have bought the high output that have told me the same exact thing. They're like, Ben, I don't really notice the difference between this and my old Super Duty with the acceleration. So the standard output, even though it doesn't have the cool red badge, still really solid. Now it definitely drives like an HD truck. You've got, you know, a little bit of harshness through the ride quality, but again, that's, you know, due in part to the leaf springs and the solid axles. It's just gonna happen. That parking lot is completely full of Teslas, and that Tesla's beeping. What is happening here? I'm guessing the Tesla, because there's a Tesla like thing over here. I bet they just ran out of parking because so many Teslas are not selling / are breaking down. They ran out of space in their parking lot, so they have to use someone else's parking lot. I said it there, I said it. The truth must be known. I'm sure those are just Teslas that haven't sold yet. That's my guess on that. And so I'm sure some are ones that are waiting for servicing and parts. And yeah, solid torque. Let's see what the turning radius is like through here. Doesn't rub, by the way, which is nice. It's a bit, you know, honestly, it's a bit to handle. I'm gonna let this person do whatever they're doing because they are going fast. Raptor R. Yeah, they were going really fast. Let's get an acceleration here. How's that not enough? Come on, people. That is more than enough power. More than enough power. Slow down for the minivan here. But yeah, this thing's fun. This thing is genuinely fun to drive. So, to cap things off with this drive, and I like how the depiction there is not even a dually. Yeah, I mean, this drives like an HD truck, but in terms of, you know, being able to move 35s, Power Stroke does not care. It has so much torque. It can move anything. It is literal insanity. Yeah, I don't really think there's a downside to this. I guess the only thing in terms of the driving dynamics, the one downside is whenever you lift a truck, right, it does kind of mess with the center of gravity, towing dynamics, all of that, right? You got to get special, you know, hitches and everything. So there is that downside. So from a capability perspective, yeah, it does kind of dampen the capability a bit, but you know, it just depends on, I guess, how much you're towing and how often you're towing. I see a lot of people that do these lifts, you know, they just want the cool looks, right? Because this does look really cool, by the way. But you know, they're not towing every single day, right? They might tow like once a month or something, and it's like, hey, you know, it is going to put extra wear and tear on certain elements within the truck, right? That's the truth. But yeah, I mean, you gotta pick your battles, right? So let me know what you guys think about this lifted dually. Let me know if you think does it make sense to lift a dually? Do you think it's just ridiculous, or do you think it's a cool thing to do? I think it looks cool. I just don't know if it's, you know, all that man practicality. I don't know if it's there, because I mean, first off, I can't even fit in the parking space. Like, look at this. Because of the width, I'm like capped out here, and then the length, like now I'm pretty much in the parking space. Oh boy, man, going to the local grocery store on this would be a fun trip. Let me know what you think.